scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect from it. I can't show it on the football. It's so goddamn hard to hold on to it.
August 19th, 2024. Draft season is officially underway. Over the next 2 weeks, friends all across our land will be gathering together in their homes and online to engage in the most important aspect of fantasy football, the draft. And the Fantasy Millionaires are here to help with our 2024 edition of rounds 6 through 10 draft guidance and strategy. But before we get into all that, Stacks, how was your first day back at work?
That's a great question. I'm not going to lie, dude. I had one of my teammates come in and say, "Your room looks great. Did you put your board up already?" And I said, Yeah. No, I put it up last year. I didn't take it down. It looks perfect. And she was like, "Your room looks great." So I ticked all the boxes. I did all the things I needed to do. I feel tremendous. I got to review the ADP while I did it. I got to look at the risers, the fallers, who I like, the shining stars, the Rishi Rices of the world. The Xavier Worthies you might even talk about today. It's a whole bunch. All the wide receivers for Kansas City are all packed into this little show, so we get to talk about them all. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm just glad to get back to work. And getting the names and the faces of the kids will come soon. But right now, I got 23 of them, so it's a lot. I got a lot of reps to put in. I was just making baskets on the bottom of chairs today, zip tying them, so just upside down, zip, 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 zip. 4 times 23. That's like, I don't know, 96 zip ties, just all around. So just lots of work to do today.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to figure out how to survive these next 2 weeks with the amount of fantasy football that's going to be taking place night after night with drafts. I got, I think, 8 or 9 redrafts.
Holy shit, dude.
And it's all and it doesn't start until Sunday at the Crab Cake. So that's really going to be my first redraft home league, non-best ball, non-dynasty, just a regular what we do on this show league. And then it's just on. And I'm looking forward to all the crazy. I'm going to have to double draft and online in a couple leagues. Already dealing with drama in my cute little family league. And this is the thing, man. This is always the annoying part about being commissioner. Yeah, dudes are just the worst. Like they always
they're bros now. They're called bros now.
To create problems.
Yeah.
Like it's just part of fantasy football. Like there's gonna be, in every league there's drama. There's just drama. There's always dudes that start stuff. And in this league, this league is for the kids. Right. My son and me co-manage this team. He's not even old enough. He doesn't know what's going on.
Your cousin?
Yeah. He's making us change the rules back to no free agent auction budget.
No,
I know.
No.
And I relented. I relented.
Why? That's terrible. You guys are going back.
I tried to explain to him. I tried to break it down to him and say, this is the way that this rewards losers. Your reverse order of standings for waiver priority is ancient. We just don't do this anymore. And he was just, like, he didn't threaten to quit the league, but he was just like, this is, all the rules are your rules. He plays standard.
All the rules are you create the league.
Well, first of all, I'm the commissioner, but yeah, it's right. Like he plays standard, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. That's his rules. So it's just like, come on, man.
He's trying to make fantasy football great again, apparently, because that's terrible.
Right.
That is not good. I'm praying for his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, The drama is starting. I had a league draft last night in Bo's league, and Stephania Bell Enfield, the eights were in there. Pat Fitzsimmons and our boy, might have been the Iceman next to me, I'm not sure. From Canton, I'm gonna call him Las Vegas Alley Cat, getting his face banged in by rocks and shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Frankel.
Oh, he's in that league.
Yeah, he's in Bo's league too. So just a bunch of sharks in this league, Someone with Bo and Jorge's in there. Jorge got the first pick, and Bo got the third pick. So they were down there yumming and chumming it with the best of the players. And but it was fun to mix it up. By the way, I don't want to catch the drama, but just tell me what is the exact quote that Scott Frankel said in the lobby? What did he say? We're gonna kick their asses? Is that what he said?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna throw down.
Beat his ass. Yeah.
I'll beat his ass. Right. I'll beat his ass. Oh my God. I love that guy. That guy's like my spirit animal, if you can still have one nowadays. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I'm glad you're getting excited for the drafts, man. It's real. It's, and spectacular as well,
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand when you have 8 and you got a double draft is a little challenging for sure.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this is the last week of just calm before the storm. And then it's just whirlwind draft after draft after draft after draft. So I can't wait. Can't wait. So yeah, man, looking forward to doing what we do here on the show tonight, hearing Stack's thoughts on round 6 through 10.
Yeah. I mean, I had a real draft. I had to get in there. I had real bullets flying,
Yeah. So was that your first real draft?
Yes, for money.
Draft?
Yes, it was. So
yeah,
it was.
Yeah,
it was a nice little tune-up.
Honestly, I like it that the first draft is this Sunday. It just sucks to draft this early because of injuries. I mean, there was just like a slew of stuff that just happened today. Like, you hear Curtis Samuel?
No.
Turf toe. Jalen Warren, hamstring.
I knew Jalen Warren was hurt. Hamstring.
Yeah. I think there's some other really important ones.
Dominoes are going to fall, man. You hope you don't have the dominoes,
Right. That's why it's just best to just have them all, from the Wednesday to the Thursday.
I'm not going to disagree. I will say this time of year, there's got to be like a meme or like a little video. It's like war, like hearing like who comes back from the front. You know what I mean? Like, did they get CeeDee Lamb today? Like, who's down? Like, I tore his ACL. Like, no, they got my guy. Just like every single day people get hurt. It's a league where 100% of people get hurt eventually.
Right.
So,
right. I mean, that's what's so crazy. Watching that receiver show on Netflix too is just wild. Like, every single star in that program, minus George Kittle, I don't know if he dealt with anything, but they were all just dealing with horrible stuff. You're just like, wow, and they're just playing through it. Amon-Ra St. Brown lost his oblique from his body, just powered through that injury. Yeah, and then you read about it when you're, a manager on your team. He's like, it's an ab strain. He'll be all right, and then you see what he had to do. It's
he better be
oblique. It's like, I can't even.
He had like hands, foot, and mouth disease, and he just powered through
mouth disease. Yeah,
right.
Just played through that.
Yeah, he wore stuff so people didn't see what he looked like, and he hid his like sores and stuff. Like, that guy's a dog.
He's super spreading.
Right. Yeah, like a Canton. Oh, by the way, a bunch of people, Ronnie even sick, COVID. I don't have COVID. You don't have COVID. We didn't get COVID, but a bunch of people did from the super spreader event. Good thing I said no to Vape Master General, who's just like trying to hit me up for the Vapester. That was my favorite, one of my favorite stories of the whole thing. Like, hey man, I'm gonna have to get that from you, brah. That was one of my favorite experiences. Just so funny. And I told Rose about it, and I said it was great how like you saw the beginning of it and then you saw the end of it.
He was playing the long game on your vape.
Oh yeah, and he got the non-game on it, so it worked out well. It worked out really well. It was fun, and I didn't get COVID, and neither did you. And we're we're set. So yeah. So here's what we do. If you're not new to the program, thank you. If you're not, if you're an old timer like Mark or anybody else who watches the show, Bo, Brad, the other Brads, all the Brads. We are going to break down rounds 6 through 10 in PPR, and we're going to talk about braids and fades. Braids are the guys we like. Fades, obviously, you're fading them. And so we've already done rounds 1 and 2 together, the first show, and that was a poppin'. And then we did rounds 3 through 5 last week. So check out those, get your bearings. And now we're going to kind of attack that mid-level. So this is where kind of things go off the rails. There's a lot of variance. And I think this is where you just get your guys in these rounds. Not that you're reaching round ahead, but you work within the tiers. But I think this is where you kind of can be nimble. So we use 4for4's rankings on their ADP. I can bring that up over here in just a second if I knew how to control them. Oh, yeah. Okay. Give me like 30 seconds.
Let me say something to you real quick while you pull that up. So this is something I found very interesting. This is a good follow for fantasy G-gens out there. All our millionaires.
Hit it up. I always love a good D-gen.
Chris O'Brien is a good follow on X. He posts all sorts of great data. One of the things that he did this year, he said, I looked at the 10 most rostered players on championship teams from 2019 to 2023. And here's the ADP breakdown. So basically, the idea is that he goes through and looks through, okay, rounds 1 through 2, rounds 3 through 5, rounds 6 through 9, and then rounds 10 plus, and then undrafted. And the percentage of most roster players on championship teams per those rounds. So rounds 1 through 2, 32% of championship teams had players from rounds 1 through 2. There were so obviously makes sense. Your first round being the anchor of your team. You get that guy, he hits, he gets 400 points. Rounds 3 through 5, it goes down to 20%. Okay. Now rounds 6 through 9 and then 10 plus. Round 6 through 9 is 8% and 10 plus is 4%. Then undrafted is 36%. So that, and that's what I always say.
A lot of misses.
Well, that's the thing. The wire, the first 4 weeks of the season, so critical. So these rounds really are, they're not the sexy rounds. Like these are the rounds where, for me, looking at building a team now, I am, I'm filling up, the positions, right? Like that's now you're really just drafting for depth, and
not just depth too, but you're getting, if you're in round 6, right, you're getting probably a starting running back or a starting wide receiver or your quarterback or a starting tight end. So like that's where you'll see a lot more tight ends in these rounds. You'll see more quarterbacks today. We'll talk about them too. We'll kind of have some tier breakdowns, but yeah, I agree with you. But you're getting value, I think, is what you're trying to. You're flexible, but you can also go after, like, I think like your boy, like Zay Flowers, per se, we'll talk about him in a little bit too. Like, you might favor him over Tank Dell and over Amari Cooper and George Pickens. He's right in that, and T. Higgins, that's the tier he's in. And maybe you'll talk about why. I tease.
We did Zay last week. He was in the rounds 3 through 5, right? So aren't we starting at David Montgomery?
Zay Flowers?
Yeah, we did. This was he's the end of round 5. So we did, remember we did that, like kind of the Zay, he's right at the end of round 5.
So I'm not sure why my ADP, let me redo.
No, you had it. He was right. He was at the end of round 5. Like the Amari Cooper, Zay Flowers,
right.
George.
Oh yeah, we already talked about him. You're right.
Yeah.
Of course we did. Yes, we did. You're right. Okay.
So
we're starting here at
David Montgomery.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna look at the first tier here. In the beginning of, like, he's the end of round 5, but beginning of round 6. We've got David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, and James Conner. So you knew this was going to be a leading question for you. So I'll give you the home run swing. You're up to draft. You need a running back, right? Maybe you don't want to do running back. Maybe you're a Burrow guy, which I think you are. But let's say you already got your QB, and maybe you don't need Evan Ingram or Jacksonville wide receiver. You're looking for a running back. State your case for one of these guys. And I think I've got my guy, and I've got a scheme to get maybe either one of 2 guys, I think, that I favor, but I think you have to have a backup plan for my second guy. So lay it out. Who are you going for first?
I'm going James Conner. That's who I feel like is the safest pick. I'll tell you what, all three of these guys, I mean, honestly,
Ramondre Stevenson's here too, by the way. I forgot to tell you, he's lingering a few picks back, but
okay. If we're bringing him into the mix, I think I'm going Ramondre Stevenson over all of these guys.
I like that.
The way I would rank it would be Ramondre, James Conner, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones. That's my ranking for this little RB set of RB. Yeah, and I think these are all pretty good RB2s. You know, I mean, if you went hero RB, I think this is a good place to snag that second RB because James Conner is just perennially. I mean, I remember last year us talking about him towards the end of the year, just like, man, he's doing it again, and he's amazing, and he was a trade target for trades to get paid. And when they brought Kyler Murray back, that offense really started becoming a problem.
Yeah.
And now they have Kyler Murray fully healthy. They have Trey McBride. They have Marvin Harrison Jr. And they do have that rookie who popped in preseason. But he's the RB1,
Right.
So I mean, it's his backfield, and Trey Benson is not, he's not going to get the bulk of the carry. So
yeah,
I'm very excited about James Conner. Same thing with Ramondre Stevenson. I think Antonio Gibson is going to have a role. He's going to take the Zeke touches. But Ramondre Stevenson was going in like the 3rd round last year, and now here he is in the 6th round. That's awesome, because he's going to be the exact same running back, and now you're getting him in the 6th round, where that's kind of where his value is based on last season. And I think that's his floor. So
I like the James Conner over Ramondre, except we talked about this before. James Conner's going to get banged up during the season because he's a bruising, strong, powerful running back who, I mean, he uses his body full send every game. So I do think there's just my strategy. Actually, he was my second pick. I was going to go David Montgomery, and I'll talk about that in a second because he seems to be the forgotten guy here. The James Conner role on that offense, he kind of gets most of the lion's share when he is in there. Maybe they manage it a little bit differently because he has gotten hurt last couple of years. They're like, maybe this isn't viable. Let's give him a little bit of a spell. I still think he gets the goal line work, which is just a big deal, Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think I like Conner. Here's the thing about Montgomery. He's got goal line upside too. Like, they run both him and Gibbs down there. Like, the Lions offense is going to score like 45 touchdowns this year. At least that's what most people think they're going to do. So it's hard for me to say no to Montgomery because he's in, back half of the 5th, end of the 6th, beginning of the 6th round too. So, yeah, I've not drafted Montgomery. I have gone Stevenson.
I'll tell you what, too, with the Montgomery pick, this is just
13 rushing touchdowns.
This ranking is really subject to change because Jahmyr Gibbs has a hamstring injury too. So that bumps up Montgomery's value. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, he had a hamstring injury last year. He missed a couple games. So, I mean, now's the optimal time. But, man, if Jahmyr Gibbs is out, I mean, you could have a 30-point week 1 with David Montgomery. So that does kind of,
upside.
It's enticing.
It's enticing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's also a couple of QBs here I wanted to ask your opinion over because Kyler Murray, you did mention him, and Joe Burrow right here. I like them both. How are you assessing if Joe Burrow is available? You're probably going to go Joe because I know you love Joe, but is there an argument to be made for Kyler at all in your mind?
All of our quote unquote peers in the industry have Kyler Murray mania. I mean,
they do. That's a great way to say it. Kyler Murray mania. That's exactly right.
I mean, he is being drafted as it's everyone's either got the first four. It's Allen, it's Hurts, it's Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. So those are the first four, and then it's between Anthony Richardson and it's either Richardson mania, Richardson fever, or Murray mania. Like that, everybody is all about getting the dual threat QB,
rushing
for fantasy purposes.
The touchdowns there.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Makes sense.
I'm not as high on Kyler Murray. Again, man, to me this year, there's just so many viable options at quarterback. I could just see myself just being the last guy in the draft and just scooping up everybody else at every other position, just making sure I'm strong. At every other position.
Yeah. Are you buying Dak? Dak's way down here too at the end of the 6th round. I'm not buying Dak. I'm not in the Dak sweepstakes this year.
We mentioned CeeDee Lamb a little bit in the BS part. What's going on? Is there any new wrinkles?
The latest was that he was averaging the contract was averaging around $33 million, but he wasn't happy because there's still incentives in Jefferson that have him making more per year. It sounds like a cock block off against Justin Jefferson, So, he's cock blocking himself from $33 million because he wants a little bit more than Justin Jefferson because that ego bump. It's so more important than being on the field. So, CD's TDs are looking low at this moment. So, Dak's not. He's kind of falling in drafts. And,
I'll tell you what, going back to just ranking these QBs that we've just mentioned, for me, Burrow, Murray, Dak Prescott, who do you think I want the most?
I think it's Burrow. And then it's going to be Murray and then Dak. I think it's my rankings as well. I think that's how you probably would go. But
I don't even know, man. I'm not as high. Let's say Dak, CeeDee Lamb signs tonight and everything is kosher. I might flip that ranking.
Okay. You have your prerogatives to do that. I'm not against that at all. Okay.
I mean, Dak led the league in touchdowns last year, and what did he finish in BFFs? He finished
4 or something.
Yeah. QB 2. So.
2. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. So now I want to pivot to wide receivers because there's also a little cluster of wide receivers that are in this tier here, right? There's none up here. So we're just going to sneak all the way down here to Christian Kirk, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley, and Rashee Rice. Out of all 4 of those guys, we've got a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 1, and a wide receiver 1. So I heard Matt Harmon say over the offseason that Rashee Rice doesn't have a route tree. He has a route bush because he basically just runs little tiny flares and little hooks and little turnarounds and little screens and little bubbles and little behind the line. He doesn't run the deep routes, doesn't run the seam routes, doesn't run the flags and the posts and all the things we've learned to love that get you touchdowns necessarily. He can run after the catch and get some. Are you buying into his hype now? I mean, he's soaring up draft boards. He's everywhere. He's speeding through. How many metaphors can I use alluding to his illegal activities? But out of these guys, who tempts you the most?
Rashee Rice. Yeah, Rashee Rice.
It's the offense, right? It's a quarterback. It's the behind the back passing. It's the Mahomes effect. It glows.
Well, it's also the fact that he, as a rookie, got better and better and better, and was what was the number 1 on that team at the wide receiver position throughout the playoffs, and is a huge reason why they were able to win back-to-back Super Bowls. I mean, he just got better and better as the season went on. And, historically, rookie wide receivers with the Chiefs have struggled. Some of that's been poor drafting choices. Some of that's been, that they're rookies and it's hard for them to wrap their mind around all the concepts that they do in Kansas City. He didn't. So to me, with 1 year under his belt, there's the only reason why he's this far back in the draft is because he stole from a supermarket and left his car in an accident. And what else did he do? Like didn't he do another?
I think he threw a baby into a volcano or something. I don't know.
That's the only. He has a December like 6th-ish somewhere around there court hearing. And the word on the street is, and I buy it because I buy big NFL. I buy the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get preferential treatment. I buy that there's nothing's going to happen to Rashee Rice this season. And that is what everyone is starting to think. Yet here he still sits. And if none of that had happened, he'd be 3 rounds higher, bare minimum, right?
He might go 2 rounds higher than this in drafts. People just might be scooping because they know he's not going to be around when they get back to him. One of those double dips on the end.
He was wide receiver 28 in BFFs. And the back half of the season, he's a wide receiver 2, a strong wide receiver 2. So I think he's wide receiver 2 floor with wide receiver 1 upside for certain weeks. And I'm the one place I'm planting my flag this year so far as an analyst is the Kansas City Chiefs. I love that people are thinking that this offense is going to be anything like it was last year, and their average depth of target's going to be anything like it was last year. I think that they are going to steamroll through the league. I think they have an amazing defense, and I don't think Patrick Mahomes is just in there to win games. I think Patrick Mahomes has the LeBron James, I'm going to be better than Michael Jordan mentality. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start rolling in games, he starts trying to go for like a 52 touchdown season. I mean, I think
incredible.
I think they're going to roll, and Rashee Rice is going eat. So I'm super high on him.
I like that. I agree with you. Out of a couple of wide receiver 2s here, Keenan Allen and Chris Godwin. Where are you leaning? And you can even throw JSN in here, Jackson Smith and Jigba. And you got a wide receiver 3 down here in Odunze. How are you unpacking this section if you get in need of a wide receiver and you're looking at, you didn't get Rashee Rice, he's gone. I'm kind of avoiding Jaden Reed at this price, too high for me given the 4 wide receivers they run. But Godwin, Allen are all interesting, and so is Christian Watson, I think, actually.
Scroll back up because we mentioned him, but I'll tell you who.
I forgot T. Higgins is up here too.
Well,
he's in.
What,
this is in different round.
How about where are you at with Terry McLaurin? Because
I think he actually has a good season this year. I think he's a value where he's at. I drafted him.
Always been the Terry McLaurin guy.
Yeah. I did actually get some shares yesterday in a league. So it was the league I'm in with you. It's the free draft we're in with the boys, from the cabin.
All that pumped up hype I just spit on Rashee Rice. I have, 50% of that for Terry McLaurin. I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed to draft that dude.
Yeah. Well, Jane Daniels looks like the real thing. We'll talk about him later. He was a cover boy for today's show anyway. He's going to be coming up here in just a little bit. When we scroll down here, but yeah, I do like Terry McLaurin. I think I might go Rashee Rice over Terry McLaurin, definitely over Christian Kirk. The reason for me is Kirk's touchdown upside's capped by Evan Ingram and then Brian Thomas Jr. too. Those are the touchdown guys. Maybe get a little slant underneath or something down there, but really in the end zone, you need the big dogs to get those balls. And Ingram is that guy, and Brian Thomas could become that guy too. I mean, he's a 6'4" freak. So let's target him and let's get him going. So I think that's kind of where it's going to go. So I'm fading Kirk at that ADP. I know Bo likes him, so we'll see. And Calvin Ridley, I think Calvin Ridley could eat, but I think Will Levis is an unknown. We just know he's got a huge dick and he likes mayonnaise. That's all we know about him right now. And he looks good.
That's pretty much all we know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm out on Calvin Ridley. I'm gonna let somebody else draft him.
You're not gambling on Calvin Ridley this year. Is that what you're saying?
Good one.
Yeah, I've been saving it.
Yep. I'm gonna refrain from gambling
Thank
on
you.
Calvin Ridley.
You shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't gamble on him. Okay, so I kind of jumped around, but are you Keenan Allen, you Chris Godwin, or are you JSN now? Where you leaning?
I'm Keenan Allen. Yeah, I'm Keenan
Yeah.
Allen. I loved your wide receiver 2 theory article. It's just so good, man. It's I really
Here it
the
is, by the way.
Hansel edition.
Thank you, the Hansel edition.
Appreciate the love I got.
Oh yeah,
Give me good love in this. It's very nice.
oh yeah. You're here. I'll show you. You're right here, Mike. The best, by far, the greatest fantasy football player I've ever competed against in real life.
It's really nice.
You can go find him right there.
Yeah,
follow this motherfucker. Come on, get in there. Yeah. Oh, sorry, for real.
Yeah. Brad called me Ralph in the DMs when I was talking with him about the draft. So
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Ralph Macchio on the X. So I'll say this about Keenan Allen. I saw what you wrote, and you're out. You included him in the article for the sake of the article.
I like him.
It's the model.
I like him, right? I just don't like with Roma Dunze there. Here's what I'm hoping, which I have seen, and I did get him. Roma Dunze drops, right? And he's a couple rounds later. So if you scroll down here, he's a couple rounds later. Yeah, he's down here. He dropped. I'd rather get Roma Dunze, dude. Like you saw that little scramble play with him. Like he's gonna be the downfield guy. Keenan Allen's not gonna be the downfield guy. He's old man now. He's gonna be the mid. And that's fine.
He's a slot receiver.
He's good. He's not going to be a touchdown guy. And so I'm going for upside later in rounds. And that's what wide receiver 2 model kind of tells me to do. So I'm not against Keenan Allen. I'm just going to get a Dunze at ADP, and you can get Keenan Allen ADP. I think they're both going to pay off. I'm more, a Dunze because he's young and he's,
But here's the thing about Keenan Allen, and this is why I'm happy to spend a little time on my man. Okay.
Yeah. Let's break him down.
5 straight Pro Bowls from 2017 to 2021. 2022, bad year. I think he was injured. Pretty sure he was just like dealing with hamstring stuff all year. So then he slides a little bit in ADP last year. People were getting him in like maybe 3rd or 4th round. And in 13 games, had 1,243 yards and 108 receptions.
Is that good?
Statistically, it's the best at the slot receiver position in the league for 13 games. Okay. So here's my point in saying all that. And I think he got a Pro Bowl nod last year. If let me see. Alan Meekins, first player. He might have gotten nominated to the Pro Bowl last year for that season. He should have. I mean, he's one of the best receivers in the league. So,
yeah.
So in 6 of the last 7 years, he's in the Pro Bowl. I don't understand why he all of a sudden is just not going to be good again. The big word on the street is on him that he's fat. I'm looking. I saw somebody tweet something really funny. I think it was Ian Hart. It's like Keenan Allen wearing baggy shirts his whole life so he could gain weight in his 30s is the ultimate troll job or something like that. Like it's so true. Like everybody is like tuning in, and you can't see because he's wearing clothes. Like we need a shirt off pick, but I've seen enough of tight fitting shirts underneath his shoulder pads where you can see his midline. He doesn't look any different to me. I'm all about getting Keenan Allen here. What's his ADP? What number is he at? Is this the 7th round that we're in?
I do believe so. I believe we're 7th round coasting now. Where he's at.
The beginning of the 7th round.
701. Yes, sir. Ding, ding, ding. I'll
take the guy who was, traded for by the Bears. I think Rome Odunze, I think he is. I'm very excited. Here's the thing that's interesting about any of these teams, like the Packers, the Texans, the Bears, with just supreme 3 wide receiver talent. Not all the guys are going to eat. So it could be Rome Odunze, maybe DJ Moore takes a hit. I don't know. But to me, I just think it's his game. He doesn't need speed. Like, his game's not built on speed. Like, it's really built on him being one of the most precise route runners in the league. And that when the ball is in his vicinity, he is a true potential Hall of Fame wide receiver. He comes down with the ball, and that's what Justin Jefferson does. That's what Devontae Adams does. That's what the best of the best do. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
He runs routes in a way that he gets open enough so that he gets the ball and then he catches the ball, and he's sure-handed. I think it's kind of a steal getting him here.
You think people are stealing here, huh?
I do, a little bit.
Very interesting.
I'm just saying I'm tempted by the ADP here.
Yeah. I hear you. You're tempted. Yeah. I'm not as high on him as you are. I'm a little lower on him. I think it's because I don't think he's got as many targets, and I think I have him projected for less targets this year than last year. And so I think in Chris Godwin's case, he's going to get 23% of the targets, and he's going back to the slot, and he's like Keenan Allen. He's a good route runner. He's a big dog. So in this kind of like wide receiver 2 off, they're right next to each other. I've got more Chris Godwin so far than I have. I got no Keenan Allen, honestly. I'm probably going to get some Keenan Allen, but you're going to get some Keenan Allen. I know you got 9 drafts coming up. So, but I'm going Godwin just because I think their defense is getting better, but it's still sus enough that they're going to have to throw the football. And 23%, 24%, 25% target share between him and Mike Evans is just sexy as hell. So it's hard. It's tricky. I think they're both good, but I just kind of lean Godwin a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's safer because, again, you only have 2 wide receivers there. So
yeah, mainly. Yeah,
it's a gamble because you have Rome Odunze, who does look like he's going to be
good.
I mean, this could be, Keenan Allen's last big splash here. So
yeah, could be. Let's transition here to running back because, man, I by the way, I like Jordan Love too. If Jordan Love's around here, I'll grab him. I don't want to say I hate him, but he's good.
I love Jordan Love this year.
Yeah, exactly. QB 10, I'll take him. Like if I got my running backs, my wide receivers at 3 and 3, and now I'm at Jordan Love, boom, I'll grab him. I'm totally cool with that. I also stack him with maybe some of the other wide receivers coming back afterwards for sure, but I definitely like that. All right, but let's talk running backs. DeAndre Swift, now with the Chicago Bears, played for the Eagles last year, moved on. They got Saquon, and now he's in this tier with him, Raheem Mostert, Najee Harris, and then you've got right on the nips on the heels, Jalen Warren, who, like you said, is hurt, and Tony Pollard. How are you approaching this? Because, for my money, Raheem Mostert is supremely undervalued still. I can't believe he's going in the 7th round, he went in the 9th round, and he was like RB4 or something last year. Like, this is crazy to me. 21 touchdowns. Am I taking crazy pills on Raheem Mostert, Collins?
Man, since we've been doing this show, he's been one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm always riding the Mostert train.
Yeah.
So when we talked about Devon Achane earlier, people like you saying I'm going to draft him in the 2nd round. I'm like, what about Mostert?
Get them both.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No. And look at his games last year. 13, 25, 45. He had a 5. He had some duds, but then 15, 34, 10, 14, 10, 21, 12, 23, 18, 12. He's over 10 points almost every single time. Like, that's what you want. And he's not, he hurt. It's like, look at it's the best season he's ever had. It's awesome.
The best season he's ever had. Right.
Yeah. I love it. And yes, he will have regression, but you're not drafting him as the first RB even on the team. You know what I mean? So like, this is running back 2 theory. What are we doing, people? You're making me have another theory? Stop it. Just draft Raheem Mostert. I mean, if he gets hurt, I like getting Jalen Wright. I like getting him way in the back of either. If you get Etienne or Raheem Mostert, get Jalen Wright. He's banged up right now. He might not even go in your drafts because he's hurt. I don't know. Maybe he will, but yeah, it's startling to me. Just bamboozling.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. Where is he in terms of the depth chart? Oh, let's look. Starting running back. He's the number 1 for the depth chart. So, and last year he was going in rounds like 9 or 10, like you said. Now he's going in ADP has him in 7. I mean, after he puts up a 21 touchdown season, seems like a great guy to draft as an RB2.
Right. It seems like even Pat Doherty would see this. You know what I mean?
Pretty solid guy to put as your RB2 for sure.
Yeah. With Jalen Warren hurt, I'm intrigued with Najee Harris if you can't get Mostert because in the Arthur Smith offense, he just runs the football like that's all he cares about. Like he's obsessed with running the football. And it's hard Steelers football. I'm sure that it'll work well with them. They've got to figure out how to move that line a little bit better. But Harris did improve, and Jalen Warren's a beast too. But man, if there's only Harris for a little bit of time, or if there's only Warren for a little bit of time, that could be RB1 every single week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think I'm coming up in our slow draft best ball for the Canton League, and I as long as they don't pick a running back, I'm either going to have Najee Harris or Zamir White, and I'm actually going to go Zamir White. I'll go Zamir White over Najee Harris, even post learning about this Jalen Warren injury. But it is now a hard choice for me between those guys. I think Najee Harris, because the thing so far, all I've really heard about the Jalen Warren situation is that I think it's kind of it's not a Jahmyr Gibbs hamstring pull. People are saying Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be good. Probably will start playing the first game of the season. It's like, all right, let's put his hammy on ice. I think Jalen Warren's is a little bit more severe, which that's not good. So Najee Harris,
that's bad.
Yeah, Najee Harris it would, I think, get a huge bump in value in terms of the amount of volume that he's going to get playing in an Arthur Smith offensive scheme. I'll still take Zamir White. It's the industry's really split on that guy too.
Minshew mania, brother. What do you do when the Minshew man comes for you, Mike?
Yeah,
Collins.
Yeah, I mean,
Uncle Rico.
Zamir White. I remember I was hype on him right when he was coming into the league. I thought he was going to burst on the scene.
Oh, you loved him, yeah.
It took a Josh Jacobs injury for that to happen, but now it's his offense. So if Najee Harris is going to, supplant Zamir White, it's going to be because Jalen Warren is injured all season long. Zamir White doesn't have any competition in terms of the amount of touches that he's going to get, and so everyone's saying, well, he's not really a PPR back. We have a small sample size of how that they were using him last year. Why won't he be a PPR back? Like he's not going to be.
He can catch the ball.
Yeah, he can catch the ball, and
he got ball skills.
Yeah, and we saw last year as soon as he got his opportunities, he was making big plays. So
he has the juice.
Yeah, I mean, in this little set of tier RB2s, I don't know. The person I feel safest about is Zamir White.
I mean, I agree with you. I like I would go Mostert, Zamir White, then Najee Harris. But I'd draft all three of them. If you took somebody in front of me and I needed to get any of those three, I'd be okay. The Jalen Warren injury bothers me a little bit. Tony Pollard's offense bothers me a little bit. So I'm kind of out on that.
Tajay Spears too is like they're like
he's
the
lingering.
same dude almost, you know.
Right. And I'd rather have than Tony Pollard or maybe even Jalen Warren. I'd rather have down here Brian Robinson, right? At 808, like dude, like he the offense for Washington was terrible last year, and the first half of the season was like a top RB, top 15 RB. He was doing a good job. Couldn't sustain it because the offense was just hit walls and stuff. But I think with Jaden Daniels, it just opens up a lot of space for him too, because if you don't know if you're going to have to read the quarterback and who's going to get the ball, that guy can get a little bit of speed up. That's just all you need, like half a microsecond. That's all you need, right? And so I like Brian Robinson too, more I think than John.
A little bit. Let's look at our boy. There he is, Jaden Daniels.
He's right there. Yeah, and he's kind of in a QB tier by himself. Brock Purdy's up here. I'm not sold on Brock Purdy over Jaden Daniels. I might go Jaden Daniels just for the rushing upside. Purdy gives you.
You see my point. You see my point. There's look. Jaden Daniels is the 12th QB, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'll wait until everyone's got a QB, and then I'll just draft Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I know you will.
Like there's no reason to be involved in any type of QB run this year.
Right. You don't need any QBery on you. Just stay away from the voodoo and the vexing, and just let it be and let people chase it, and you can get the Jaden Daniels spoils.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
don't play the Commanders League.
I'm sure Jaden Daniels is going to go, especially where we live. He's going to go.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a Commanders League. People are going to commander it. Fanboy it.
I'll take Brock Purdy as my.
Right. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Jaden, but yes, yeah.
Brock Purdy finished what? In our league,
6 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, I think he finished. Let's see. Yeah, like 9th, something like that. But I mean, all right around the Jordan Love, Yeah, he finished. Actually, hold on. He finished. I had it wrong. Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. It's all like the same tier. I mean, you're getting guys that are putting up 25 points a game for 6-point TD leagues.
Yeah.
So, give me Brock Purdy. No problem.
Yeah. I did want to scroll back up here because we didn't talk about this little tight end tier here. If you need a tight end, Jake Ferguson, David Njoku. After that, there's a drop off. There's not another tight end here until Brock Bowers. I'm not drafting Brock Bowers in any of my leagues.
I think Njoku is where if there's a
line, that's where you don't cross it. After that,
I want Njoku if I don't have my tight end and there's been a run.
Tight ends will run. They will.
The person behind me does not have a tight end.
Yes.
Or people behind me don't have a tight end. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger early on Njoku. I love that he's the last option there, though.
Me too.
Yeah. Jake Ferguson and Njoku.
Yeah. And up here a little bit earlier, I didn't even mention him, but Evan Ingram. I like all three of those guys.
Oh, yeah. Evan Ingram.
I'll hang out in that zone.
Two last year.
Yeah, but Bo still thinks he's got stone hands, and he caught like 12 touchdowns. So, okay. All right. Whatever, bro. Okay. I'm going for him. So, yeah. Also want to say
Stone Hands had 114 receptions last year.
Right. He was leading the league in tight end targets and receptions.
Right.
So, Stone Hands.
Stone Hands work.
Right. Yeah, they work. He's not in the Giants anymore. I mean, the Giants just I'm not going to listen. Maybe this is controversial. I think that field is fucking cursed. I hate that field. It hurts people. It hurt Aaron Rodgers. It hurts the Jets. It hurts the Giants. It's made of cancer pellets they all are, but it's a terrible field, right? It's just not a good place to play. I think it just is cold and nasty, and it's a gray and evil. I don't know what to say about it, but it's in New Jersey, so I don't want to get murdered by anybody from New Jersey. I'm not trying to talk mad shit about your state, but it's not a nice place to play football. When I look at it, it just looks like it hurts when you fall down every time. Like, it's not real grass. It looks awful. It's awful.
I'll tell you who I'm most interested in drafting off that team is in these rounds. Scroll down to 101.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bet you he has a comparable season to Saquon Barkley last year. Like,
Right.
I mean, it's going to be just nice and mid, and he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of volume. Maybe they're a little bit better than they were last year. Now that they have Malik Neighbors, and of course he's exciting for sure in terms of talent. But I think, again, if you're going hero RB or zero RB, Devin Singletary, he's enticing because you just know you're going to get a lot of volume, and he's going to get whatever goal line work that they, are able to present him with. He's going to get it.
True.
So, we're now almost into round 11, and you can get, I think, a serviceable RB2.
Concur. I agree as well, my friend. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want to scroll back up because there was anybody else you want to talk about? I don't want to make sure I did.
Who do you think my favorite? We're right near him. Who do you think my favorite person in all these rounds that he's who I want to roll the dice on?
Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Hamstring McGee himself.
Yeah.
Over at the University of Wisconsin, figuring out he's got one huge hamstring. Like, one of his balls is way bigger than the other one of his balls, right? And he's got to shrink one of his hands, make his other one bigger, and match it. So, if he can stay healthy, he's a red zone target. He's a beast, contested catch. He's fast. He's furious too. He looks like Vin Diesel, maybe. I don't know. I'm making shit up now, but yeah, he's what the best ball bros would say. He's upside.
So much upside. I mean, you had Eric Moody on your Wide Receiver 2 Theory podcast, and that was the first time I'd heard that they were able to address the imbalance in, his strength of hamstring, and that they've actually been able to do some physical therapy in order to, correct it so that the differential in strength between the two hamstrings is much more proportional. To me, I was out on Christian Watson until I heard that, because who's the guy that we said he reminds us of that was on the Texans?
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller. He's like Will Fuller. He is so exciting.
Electric.
Playing on the football field. Like, this is a guy that can get you 4 TDs in a game, no problem. I mean, he's a downfield threat. He's and then also, him and Jordan Love have chemistry. So when he's on the field, Love's going to be looking his way. So to me, that stat that I read in the beginning, how 8% of players on championship teams are rostered from rounds, 6 through 9, 4%, 10 plus. Like, if that stat holds true next year and Christian Watson is healthy, the person that's going to be making up that 8%, or 4%, depending on which round he goes in, is going to be Christian Watson. He's going to be the championship player of these rounds, in my opinion.
I like it. And here's the 2 games he actually, was healthy and played, and got a lot of targets. He had 5 receptions, 94 yards, a touchdown, 20 points, and then 7 receptions, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27 points. So, yeah, you speaking the truth. I do like him. I got snagged. Someone stole him yesterday from me as well. I'm okay with Xavier Worthy in here. He looked pretty good. I'm sure the bros will try to snag him early. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I like him as well. I'm fading Javonte Williams, and Zach Moss. I've not pulled the trigger on him or Tajay Spears or Brock Bowers. What do you think about rookie Ladd McConkey? You in on?
I'm in on Lad McConkey. I'm hearing enough really good stuff about him, and he's from the places I'm putting my ear to the ground and listening to, he's going to be the wide receiver one on the Chargers. So, you know, you can get a wide receiver one that's a rookie. You know, what? Almost round 10.
round 9.2.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely willing to roll the dice with a rookie that could have a ton of upside because he's playing with Justin Herbert. So,
and here's the tier he's in. I might like Keon Coleman a little bit better, possibly.
I like Keon Coleman better too.
Yeah, but DeAndre Hopkins coming off an injury, older, so might take a little bit. And then Jordan Addison, man, he's just not doing great. He's hurt already, and then also he's had legal issues, and he might get suspended because his were more public. They were drunk driving. So I'm just avoiding Jordan Addison. Sorry about that, everybody. But
I am too, and man, he could be a steal too because
he could be.
Depending on what the NFL decides to do with him, but
they give him a 4-game suspension or 6-game suspension. That's just going to drive him down. Then maybe he's a value in later rounds, but right now he's too expensive in middle of round 9. I'd rather have Keon Coleman. I'd rather have like way more other players than him. Like I want Caleb Williams. I want Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not going in. No, thank you.
Right.
Nope. So that's just me. That's just how I'm hanging. What about you in this round? This is a kind of a lot of like gook to me, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. From Nick Chubb, right here down, end of round 9. Nick Chubb, Dallas Goedert, Chase Brown, Jamison Williams, Tua, Jared Goff. This is not a great tier here. Caleb Williams, who do you want in this tier? Are you getting another quarterback? Are you getting 2 QBs? Are you waiting to get?
I mean, isn't this round 10 that we're in? Right?
It's right in the beginning. Yeah.
All right. What is
Tua is the end of round 9. Goff is the beginning of round 10, and then Caleb Williams is like 10:03.
Is that the right math? What's
we're doing 6 to 10.
61 is round 6.01, right?
61 is round 5 because it's divided by 12 if you're in a 10-team league.
So when you get to 61, you've completed 5 rounds, so you're starting round 6.
Yes.
So times 48, right? 108. This is like the end of round 10, right?
No, the end of round 10 is Dalton Schultz, Curtis Samuel, Tyler Lockett down here. See over here where it says 10, 12? You can see.
Okay. Yeah.
So it goes.
I'm doing my math wrong. Okay. So this is round 10. Okay.
Yeah. To me, it's a dead round. It's one of the worst rounds I've ever seen.
Caleb Williams.
I like Caleb Williams there. Yes.
Yeah.
Upside. The Mahomes comps have been rolling in. I'm not going to do that yet, but that throw down the sideline that Adunze didn't catch because he was not in bounds was just, phenomenal, like super phenomenal. So, we'll see. He seems to have it. And
I'll tell you who really looks like the big steal here is Jerome Ford. Because if Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb also, I'm not going to draft him based on that ADP, but if he keeps sinking, I'll definitely draft him and throw him on my IR. But here's the thing. He's probably going to miss at least the first 4 games. I think TJ Hawkinson, he was injured later in the season, so he's had more time. People are saying TJ Hawkinson's, he might come back like week 16 in fantasy. So Nick Chubb is going to be on everyone's like seen his squat videos, and they're They're getting jazzed up. I know I did. I saw him. I know he's
Getting all hard.
600, 500 pounds. And I'm like, he's good. He's good, but he's not. He's not good because that's not cutting on your 2 torn ligaments in your knee, your MCL and your ACL. I don't think he's coming back maybe until midseason. So now you have Jerome Ford, the RB1 on that team, who showed last year that he could take it to the house. And here he sits at 10.07. Thanks for pointing out that stuff. I'm like doing the math. I'm like, I think we're in round 10. We're going past. No, he's at 10.07. I will take Jerome Ford at 10.07 all day.
Yeah, it's a bit of a steal. I know people like Devonta Foreman, but like didn't he like break his Donta? Didn't he break his neck almost first play of the game or something the other day? Like, I mean, yeah, I do think Jerome Ford is going to be a nice little steal here in the 10th round. Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't like Zeke. I got Rico Dowdle in like the 12th round. I'm a Dowdle guy. Let's see how far down you got to go to get to Dowdle. Yeah, down here 1203.
Dowdle is the next show. Now we're finally into the
but I'm just saying I'm fading our boy. I'm fading our boy in here.
I'm
Zeke,
with you.
Fat boy. No thank you.
Fade, no braid for Zeke.
Yeah. What about Gus Edwards sneaking over into the LA land where they run the football like a bazillion times?
Yeah. Don't forget about Gus Edwards too.
1004. He had like double-digit touchdowns last year. So, and the Hardballs love they're just like, you're near the goal line. You want to get a Gus Edwards carry in there?
Yeah. No, he's a sexy guy to have this late too, right? Like that's a huge value as well. Gus Edwards.
So there's some fades,
Gus Edwards or Jerome Ford. You going Edwards?
Edwards, yeah. I go Edwards, then I go Ford. Blake Corum's a little too early for me because that's a handcuff right now, which we said you did need to get if you guys that's price is a little inflated. Tyler Lockett is always a value down here. Trevor Lawrence, your boy's a value. So there is some good stuff in here. I just don't like Jameson Williams. It's a little too high for me. Chase Brown, Nick Chubb, those guys in that little tier. And then I'm not going to go Tua necessarily or Goff, but I think I'd go Caleb. So just in this little tiny, and I think also like I don't want to go Bowers, Spears, Moss. It just kind of gets a little sparse in there for me. And then it kind of picks back up. In the
Brian Thomas also pops off the page to me here.
He's wide receiver 2-3 guy. Yeah.
Of all, I was super high on Zay last year. I think of all the rookie wide receivers this year, I'm most excited about Brian Thomas. Like he's my rookie wide receiver, Cash Collins #1 draft pick this year.
That's the guy you're going.
Yes.
People who are interested, they could go check out wide receiver 2-3. You can just scroll down to the ones that you want to see. You don't have to read them all, but I do write about. Where is he? There he is. Yeah. He's 6'4". He's a big old boy. Yeah, and I highlighted that he's young and talented. He has draft capital. He's going to have targets. He's going to have a high passing volume offense. So like, it kind of ticks all the boxes. That's kind of what you're looking for. So yeah, I like BTJ, BT Jr. Wanted to get in there. I'm disappointed Curtis Samuel's hurt. He's like one of the last guys in the round here. I love him. Turf toe.
Yep.
Damn it. I got him on my team from yesterday. I was all hyped. That just elevates Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir, who we'll talk about next week because he's in round 11. Yeah. Anybody else who want to shout out before we go to our little rated X?
Is there anybody else here that I think's worth pointing out? I don't know. I think I am higher on Chase Brown than you.
I mean, Zach Moss is right there too. Zach Moss is right there. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't want Zach Moss. I want Chase Brown. I feel like Chase Brown is going to be. I think with what the Bengals do, he's your third down back, and he's going to be in a PPR league. He's going to be a sexy late round pick. Okay. I think.
All right. You're almost selling me. We'll see. I need to see, but I might. I'm not going to jump in front of you, but maybe. So okay. All right, I like it. Well, that was a good show. Let's jump to our this is you in the DMs. Go to my DMs. It's not letting me go to my DMs for some reason. All right, I'll go to my DMs this way. All right, there we go. All right, I'll start because I like to start. Okay, so this is for this. Okay, all right. So you might have seen this already, but this is Sopranos, and this is one of the characters on the Sopranos. Mike, Mike's the biggest one of the biggest Sopranos fans ever, and he lent me a Sopranos back in the day. And this is AJ, right? This is Tony's son. Am I correct? Is it his name was
Right.
AJ? Yeah. And he's got a revelation, and Dan Soder and him kind of chop it up. It's really just funny to hear his perspective. Let's just listen. Here you go. I think you'll enjoy this. So,
people's heartbreak when they found out I wasn't Italian. Like I've
so funny.
seen people who are like full jerseyed out. They're like, bro, me and my family would get together. We'd make up a goal. We'd all sit around the TV and watch you guys. Then somebody else would be like, yeah, well, he was the only one who was not Italian on the show. And they're like, what? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm Irish. And they're like, okay, and they're like, they're just done. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Dude, I love that.
Because they were tricked. They're just realizing.
You just made my day. That there were so many guys where they go, nah, where's your family from? They're not from Sicily, but Florence?
Right. How far down the boot are you? I'm like, oh no, we have like potatoes and
That's
potatoes.
so funny. Yeah. My grandfather came over from Dublin. And they're like,
Yeah. I've seen.
excuse me.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I also love that he's Irish because you're Irish, so too. It was good. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. So yeah.
All right, roll down to mine. Mine is Sam Morril, and before you click it, all of our favorite comedians. For some reason, morning shows will have them on, and they're doing it less and less. And I've heard Sam Morril talk about how no one will ever have him on anymore because of what you're about to watch happens on morning shows with these just hilarious guys. And so he's sad because he never gets on morning shows anymore. So this was his first time, I think, on a morning show in a while, and enjoy.
Who is this with us here?
This is Winnie. She's a rescue. She's saved her.
Yeah.
She was getting sexually assaulted by a pack of chihuahuas
Oh my.
in Los Angeles. And I stepped in
Yeah,
and I crescent kicked 2 of them.
you did.
And we
Aggressive.
Is that going to be part of your routine? Like, what are we going to see this evening, this weekend?
Hitler, genocide, Kamala, Trump, and poof.
Well, all things that are on top of mind for folks
Yeah.
the moment they wake up and turn our newscast on.
For sure.
I don't want to burn a bridge here. I know how you feel about bridges in Baltimore. But
Oh my goodness! All right, Sam, we're gonna take it out of here.
I know how you feel about bridges here in Baltimore. Oh, I wish I could have gone and seen him. Oh, wait, we did. Never mind. We did get to go see him. Yeah, he's so funny. I think you win because I mean, dude, he brought poop jokes and bridges. The nod is to you, my friend.
Okay. All right. You'll like this one then too. I'll send it to you right now. This
Okay.
is if Marvel movies were more realistic.
Okay.
Mr. President, what is it? Green Goblin is attacking New York City. What? He's causing mass destruction right now. Should we alert Spider-Man? No. Send $50 billion to Israel right now. Mr. President.
All right. That's the show. There
That's
you go.
hilarious. That's so funny. Well, do follow us on X, as people are calling it. I'll bring X back. Here you go. I am Scott Simpson. We are the FF Millionaires. Chalk Blocked, the Fantasy Millionaires. All this stuff is something you should follow. But when you go to the FF Millionaires, you should also follow the Ralph Macho, or just call him Ralph when you see him. Let's get him up to like 1,800 this year. That'd be great.
Yeah. I've been at 1,700 for like 5 years. So
Let's get him. All right, come on, Hutch. Follow him already. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Hutch follows you. So yeah. Well, I'll let you close it out. You're always good to close.
All right. Go out there and hurt all your league mates' feelings and make them cry and feel devastation in their drafts. and spread heartache and pain, and then peace and love everywhere else.
Yes, and I can't wait until we have our next show, which will be rounds 11 to sleeper, 11 to 14, but really like who those sleeper picks are in the later rounds, because I will be excitedly have our draft for crab cakes, which I was going to be 11th. It was going to be 10th was Mike, 11th was me, 12th was Denny. I was back in my brain. AJ switched. I'm 5th now. So
Yep.
Like,
last draft show is next week. So
cannot wait. So all right, yeah. That's it. I think that's the show. I just got to figure out how to close this out here, and we need some like closing music too. But until then.